and good day, everyone. Welcome to Pastor Oneil's Review Zone podcast, the podcast where we explore various aspects of life through the biblical lens. I'm your host, Pastor Desmond Oneil, and today we want to delve into a thought provoking topic on prenuptial agreements. All right, I have a clip that I would like very much for us to review. But first, you know what we're going to do? We're going to start this show.
Welcome to Pastor O'Neill's Review Zone podcast. We are glad that you decided to join us today. This podcast focuses on reviewing topics like movies, music videos, audio clips, and even relationships. So sit back and enjoy the show. Welcome to Pastor O'Neill's Review Zone.
All right, so welcome to Pastor Oneil's Review Zone. As I said before, I am your host, Pastor Desmond Oneil, and we're going to dive into today a very controversial topic. Some people believe that you should not have a prenuptial agreement. Some people are totally against it. Some people are for it. We're going to go into the Bible and see what the Bible has to say concerning this issue. Does the Bible talk about it? Well, we're going to get into it and see. Today, we have a little clip that we would like to review. And I want to just share that with us. We're going to be reviewing this clip. It's a clip from TLC's 90-Day Fiancé, and they go into the whole issue. I'm going to be talking about it a little bit, and we're going to see what is taking place. So let's go to the clip and have a look at it.
Cheating on me?
Absolutely not, no.
Do you ever plan on divorcing me?
No.
Okay, well, this right here doesn't matter. All this means is that if you go back on your word of what you just said to me, that's the only reason why this right here will take an effect.
All right, so first of all, we have this couple. It's Shaida and Bilal, and they are about to get married. As a matter of fact, they are engaged, and Mr. Bilal decides that he wants to protect himself and his assets in the event of a divorce. He is basically well-to-do, and this young lady comes from our country, Trinidad and Tobago. How fantastic is that? And she's entering into now a relationship with this guy, and he wants to have a prenuptial agreement. And basically what he is saying is that if as long as she loves him, as long as they stay together, then the prenuptial agreement, of course, will not come into effect as long as they love each other and they are doing well. But the only time it comes into effect is when the divorce or a divorce takes place. So let's continue the clip.
Does this prenup have any silent party influence?
I don't know what you mean by
Because
that.
I feel like your ex, she mentioned the prenup. Too many hands in the broth is the saying that we say in Trinidad. When too many hands in the broth, it spoils the entire thing. So now it's like looking at me as if I have some secret agenda.
All right, so again, there she is wondering, what is taking place? Why does he seem to have other people interfering in the decision making with them as a couple? All right, with them as a couple. Why does his ex have a part to play? And the thing is, whenever you have any type of relationship, whether it be in terms of your work relationship or just a normal friendship or even in terms of marriage, you've got to be careful who you allow to influence, whether whatever it is, you've got to be careful what sort of influence you allow into the relationship, because it can influence for good or it can influence for bad. In this case, it's just a matter of perspective. All right, so let's continue this clip.
Try to take what Bilal has.
First of all, that has absolutely nothing to do with anything, and it
You
relates
sure?
to. Well, you asked me a question. Can I answer your question? That has absolutely nothing to do with anything whatsoever. But I also know that I have 2 children that I also have to protect as well. And I can't just say, oh, well, let me just have a blind eye at love. Well, that wouldn't be smart.
Can you see how I give up everything?
My love, my Bellasita.
Do you see where I'm coming from? And I say,
All right, so the prenuptial agreement not only covers the financial aspect of it in terms of finances, both liquid and um, the natural assets, fixed assets, both liquid and fixed assets, but it also sees about the distribution or the custody of the kids, right? Who gets custody of the kids for how long, what's the arrangement, and all of that. All right. And the other side of it is that she has left her country. She's coming into a foreign country. She's coming into a relationship with him, and now she's sort of put at a disadvantage in that it sort of sounds like if she's being cut off, or is it? All right, because as we said before, the whole issue of the prenuptial agreement here is in the event of a split, in the event of a divorce. So as long as we are not going down the road of the divorce, then the prenuptial agreement does not come into play. So I hope you understand that clearly. All right, as long as there is no divorce, as long as there is no breakup, no split up, the prenuptial agreement does not come into place. This is in the event of a breakup, and most in most cases, this comes into play with people that are well-to-do, people that have the financial whereabouts and so on. And some people say, well, if you have money, well, then it don't matter. But yes, it does. If you look at what took place with one of the wealthiest men on the planet, Mr. Jeff Bezos, who, for those who don't know, he is the owner of Amazon. And when he divorced his wife, I mean, that was crazy. I mean, she went with a good portion of his assets and so on. All right. There's a whole lot more to deal with that I am not really equipped to deal with because I don't know the whole issue concerning that, but it's just something good to look at. All right. So let's go get more into this clip.
I get it. I know this is not the sexiest conversation to have, but I know it's a conversation that is needed. This right here is something that it just says that you won't take me for everything I got. I mean, it's just literally, just see it from that standpoint.
All right, so there is again, you see it. He's concerned about, and this happens also because there isn't much time spent in the getting to know you aspect just before getting married. I will advise anybody, do not rush into marriage. As a matter of fact, we're going to get into an aspect of the marriage vows that we as pastors go through whenever we are doing the marriage ceremony. We're going to get into that, but it is something that you do not rush into. You take time to know the individual. You don't just see somebody today. Some people talk about love at first sight. I think that love is something that grows, and love is something that you go through. All right, and time tells if it's really love. Situations tell if it's really love. Circumstances will come to play that will determine if it's really love. And so you should take time to know the individual. All right, so let's get more into this clip. All right, so she takes a look at the clip. She takes a look at the prenuptial agreement.
I feel as if Bilal doesn't trust me. I know that when he got married, he was thinking like me, like it's going to be forever, and his wife left him. So I think he has some trust issues, and I feel like I have to pay the price for everything that has happened to him in his past. I want to show the prenup to a lawyer. I'm not going to sign a document that does not give me certain rights in it. Are we done?
If you want it to be done, we're done.
Unless he put these things in a prenup to protect me, it would leave me no choice but to go back home to Trinidad.
All right, so quite interesting there, as we were able to see. She feels as if she doesn't, she's getting a raw deal in the whole issue. She feels as if Mr. Bilal is quite unfair towards her. She feels as if she, has to pay the price for his insecurities. But is it about insecurities, though? All right, is it about insecurities? All right, so let's get some more. Um, let's get some more into this clip, and see where we are going from here. Let's get some more into this clip. All right, let's get some more into this clip here. All right, so let's begin our exploration into this topic, and let us turn to the Bible, and specifically now the book of Genesis. All right, in Genesis chapter number 2 and verse number 24. Let's go there firstly. All right, Genesis 2 and 24. It says, "Therefore, a man shall leave his father and his mother and hold fast unto his wife, and they shall become one flesh." All right, that's Genesis chapter number 2 and verse number 24. And really and truly, what this tells us is that in the whole grand scheme of things, God requires that the man, all right, gets involved with his wife, and the two shall become one. It's a process. It does not happen overnight. All right, it does not happen overnight. There is a process of learning each other, because in marriage counseling, what I tell individuals is that you have your history and you have their history, and both histories are coming together. All right, both histories are coming together. There are ways in which one person grows up, there are ways in which the other person grows up. There are different scenarios, different things that cause that person to be how they are, how they reason, how they identify things. And so this process of becoming one flesh is not an overnight process. As a matter of fact, it takes an entire lifetime in order to become one flesh. I don't care how much people say, well, they are just boyfriend and girlfriend. He starts a sentence and she finishes it, and it all happens so quickly. They just met each other last week. All that is well and good, but let me tell you, don't matter if you start a sentence and the other person finishes, there are still a number of things that take place, all right, that you will not know immediately. All right. So that's Genesis chapter 2:24, chapter 2 and verse 24, that tells us that the two shall become one. All right. From this verse, we gather that marriage is intended to be a lifelong commitment, as we said, a sacred bond between two individuals. Let's also look at 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verses 4 to 8. 1 Corinthians chapter number 13, verses 4 to 8. And so it backs up the entire marriage act by showing us how true love is supposed to be according to God. All right? The Apostle Paul, speaking to the church at Corinth, he is telling them about what love really is. As a matter of fact, he's actually continuing a thought process. He's talking about the giftings, covet earnestly the best gift. There are different giftings that God gives unto men. And then he tells us, listen, the best way to dispense these gifts, the best way to utilize these gifts is through the ambits of love. And so he tells us what real love is. And the word love here, in the Greek, there are three words that speak about love. There is agape, there's phileo, and there is, of course, eros. All of them speak about love. In the Greek language, Greek is very specific, right? You have the eros love, the phileo love, and the agape love. The love that the Apostle Paul is speaking here is agape, which means that a love that does not require reciprocation, right? It's a love that gives without requesting anything back. It is quite different from eros, or the erotic type love that a man and a woman will have towards one another. It is quite different from phileo, which is a brotherly type of love, and the love that sometimes reciprocates. Agape love, on the other hand, does not require reciprocation. It gives without wanting anything else in return. And today, we rarely have this type of love. Even in terms of getting married, people always want something in return. Like the couple that we saw just now, they want to know, if I marry you, do I get, am I entitled to your finances and all of that? All right. And so if they don't get that, let's just say with the couple that we saw, the guy says, listen, you have nothing to get from me, Will she still get married to him? Question. All right. So agape love is a love that does not require reciprocation. And so he says, love, agape, is patient. Love is kind. So first of all, love doesn't rush things. Love is kind. You genuinely think about the other person's welfare as well. It does not envy. It is not selfish. It doesn't just want things for itself and doesn't care about others. Love does not boast. It is not proud. So pride, there's no place for pride where true love is concerned. It does not dishonor others. It does not seek its own interest. It's not self-seeking. True love is not easily angered. True love keeps no record of wrongs. Today we have a lot of relationships, especially marriage relationships, and they talk about not even red flags. They talk about issues, 3 strikes and you're out, and all these kind of things. But real love does not keep record of wrongs. Real love forgives and indemnifies. Those who deal in insurance understands the whole process of indemnification, which is to put you on a level as if the wrong did not take place. Do we really have that? Do we really have people that will forgive, that does not keep record of wrongs? Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. Love always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres, and love never fails. That's 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 to 8. All right. So once you have that type of love coming into the whole marriage issue or marriage aspect, then you really should not have a case where you are thinking about divorce.